Wen Pounce. That's an interesting tweet Adam Aaron just put out only a couple of hours ago. What in the world does that mean? What was said and what can we expect over the next coming days and weeks? Well, we have all of that and much more for you guys here in this video, and potentially why the markets need to come down in a big way in the near-term future and how that could play a big role into potentially seeing AMC stock going through a MOAS-like event. So we have a lot to cover in a very short amount of time. Let's get straight into all of this info that you guys definitely need to know. And just do me a quick favor, it costs you free $99. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The only thing that has not experienced inflation throughout 2022 happens to be the like button and the subscribe button. So thank you guys for doing that, and let's get straight into this video. Side note here, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, if you resonate with some of the things that are said and you want a little bit of clarity, you know, what's going on in the markets or what could be good on a specific day or a specific week, that is simply a tool that you guys can use for a very low cost to add into your other tools that you use in your trading on a day-to-day basis. So link down below in the description for that if you guys want to come join us. But getting straight into this information. So Adam Aaron did actually put out this tweet yesterday, right? I'm actually filming this video later, and it's going to come out early morning. Only in just a couple hours here. So he made this tweet, AMC rallied 15%. It was a very good day. And the tweet specifically says this: I keep getting asked, quote, Wen Pounce, know this. 1, I always keep my word. 2, I've said publicly a pounce would not happen before second quarter 2022 earnings are released. And 3, press release issued today that Q2 earnings to be announced on Thursday, August 4th. Read between those lines. So this is what you guys need to know about this tweet put out from Adam Aaron. So this article says that AMC as of Wednesday was down a total of about 12% after its 4th straight losing session. It says it broke that streak with a solid gain Thursday. About 19 minutes before Thursday's market open, Aaron tweeted, I keep getting asked, Wen Pounce, referring to an increasingly common question from the company's investing ape army about jumping on AMC short sellers. That refers back to a comment Aaron made during last quarter's earnings call. Quote, your ire and anger directed at short sellers is evident, end quote. Aaron said on May 9th, quote, I hear your suggestions that we should call for more market regulation by governments or that we should take more company action by issuing a cash, gift card, or NFT dividend, end quote. Aaron said that listeners shouldn't interpret silence as inaction. Quote, we are constantly exploring the smartest courses of action, and I promise you that we will pounce, but only when the timing is right. And then again, the tweet Adam Aaron just put out Thursday morning brought elaboration. Quote, I keep getting asked, Wen Pounce, know this. 1, I always keep my word. 2, I've said publicly a pounce would not happen before second quarter 2022 earnings are announced. 3, press release issued today that Q2 earnings will be announced on Thursday, August 4th. Read between those lines. So he is fully expecting us to directly quote what was said on that earnings call. So I think just, you know, from common sense here, he literally said issuing a cash, right, like a dividend, gift card, or NFT dividend. So I believe it's going to be one of those 3, if not one of those, right? We might get just this. We might get a CAF gift card or just cash dividend. You might get an NFT dividend. It might just be one thing, or it could be a lot of things built into one. For an example, they could come out on earnings or the day after. You're kind of in a silent period for AMC earnings, right? August 4th. Probably not going to get any crazy news from now until then, but we might get a new stake in another company. You might get a dividend announcement. You might get and I expect to get more updates as far as what the underlying business is doing. And then I do expect potentially to see a pretty decent sized profit at AMC. I do believe there will be a good profit because of the kind of movies that we have been seeing, and potentially like the rise of Gru. 68% of all ticket buyers were a part of a family. What do families do? They like to spend a lot of money. That's where theaters actually make all of their money, right? They don't stay in business because they sell movie tickets. They stay in business because they sell popcorn, they sell drinks, they sell food, things like that for ridiculous prices, right? That's how theaters stay in business. And I do think we might just get a slew of good information, right? Good catalyst. And why this could be such a big event, in my personal opinion, I don't want to hype people up too much, but August 4th is AMC earnings. Now, what do you guys know? If you've watched this channel over the past maybe week or so, well, the markets are in a really bad place. The markets have been going up, but the US dollar is hitting a new high. This only happens when fear takes over in the global economy. You're seeing bond yields actually dropping, right? You're seeing people, big money investors that are buying bonds. Why the hell would you buy a bond that pays you 3% when inflation is 8.6%, expected to come in at 8.8% for the month of June, and there's really no sign of the Fed slowing down raising interest rates? Well, it's because markets are starting to fear a recession. Well, if we get this recession, we're going to know by July 28th. The Fed raises rates the day before that on July 27th, and you have large companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla that will be reporting earnings during that time period, really the week of July 29th. July 29th is a Friday. That will be the expiration. So I do think that week of July 29th and the next week, which I believe the next Friday would be August 6th. Right? I believe they're going to report earnings, AMC, on Wednesday, August 4th. So when you put it like that, you might be hitting newer lows for the markets when AMC gets a lot of good news. And what do we know about the situation, presented to us in a short squeeze, right? Well, look at Volkswagen. Look at all of the great short squeezes that we have seen in history. Most of the time they have happened when the markets were actually hitting new lows and when liquidity was drying up. Liquidity is drying up in a very big way. Interest rates have went much higher. You have seen cost to borrow rates going much higher, but at the same time, the margin debt is still very, very high. The margin debt has only went down by about 12 to 15%, right? Roughly about 13%. Just call it in the middle, about 13%. Right, from $835 billion down to $753 billion. Whereas the NASDAQ is still down almost close to 30%. I believe it's only down 25%. We've seen a little bit of a bounce, but you're still really, really low. The worst first half of any year in 50 years. So the margin debt has not really come down in a big way. So when those margin calls start, when liquidity is that compressed, if you have a short position in your portfolio and you're already struggling to reach your margin calls due to your long positions, well, if you have short positions like AMC in that portfolio and those start to go against you because AMC now has really good news, hedge funds want to get ahead of other hedge funds. They want to cover while they still have a profit and then drive the stock up in a big way. Well, you will start to see mass liquidations and you'll start to see some very bullish price action, in my personal opinion, for AMC stock. And the two work together very well, the market crash and AMC actually going through a rally. When you have a catalyst, a lot of people remember the videos that I made 3 to 6 months ago when we forecasted this drop that, well, this was like a year ago. This was a long time ago, well before, the market started to fall. We were talking about this and going over that it'll be a good catalyst for AMC. It'll be a good market environment, I should say, but you still need to see a catalyst. You need to see something fundamentally, something just very bullish come out for the stock. And Adam Aron might be onto something. And I mean, the timing of all of it is quite phenomenal if he does not realize this, right? Because the markets are going to fall. We have not seen the bottom yet. The yield curve was just inverted. I don't believe it's actually still inverted. Yes, it's still slightly inverted still. So you have that. People fearful about a recession indicator, inverted yield curve. You guys have likely heard about that. Bond yields, like I said, coming down, not so good, but it's very interesting, and we have to see a lot of downside still because of why. Well, Fed officials Waller and Bullard back another big interest rate increase in July. They said, quote, "I'm definitely in support of doing another 75 basis point hike in July, probably 50 in September," Fed Governor Christopher Waller said. Now, why do bond yields have to go up? Why does the 10-year Treasury have to go up if the Fed is raising rates like this, right? Well, look at the reverse repurchase agreement market. So what people are actually getting right now is 1.55%. Well, why is this? Because this is where the federal funds rate is at, 1.5%. Yes, it is a range, but it's at 1.5% to 1.75%. What happens when the Fed raises another 75 basis points? Well, the federal funds rate is going to be in between 2.25%, 2.5%. What happens when the Fed raises another 50 basis points in September? The federal funds rate is going to be in between 3% and 3.25%. So bond yields cannot stay at 3%. The markets are trying to call the Fed's bluff, and when the markets realize the Fed is going to continue to raise rates, in quote, more restrictive policy is likely if inflation fails to come down. That's what the Fed minute said on Wednesday. Well, the bond yields are going to have to shoot up in a big way, and it's going to drive down the stock market in an even bigger way. I think all of this will work to our benefit for AMC stock coming around earnings, coming potentially with multiple big catalysts coming out at the same time that could change the game as far as what we have seen recently for AMC. So let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description, and get yourself those free stocks with Webull, Moomoo, and Public down below in the description as well. Sign up. No need to deposit any money. You will get 2 free shares with Webull, 4 free shares with Moomoo, and 1 free stock with Public. Deposit $100 with all of those brokerages. You will get more free stocks. So take advantage of that while you guys can. Free money is free money. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.